Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video this morning I am going to be giving you an update on some more transfer news, keeping you up to date of what players are linked with Manchester United. And it isn't that long now until the January transfer window does shut, so it is very imperative that Manchester United do make signings, because signings are desperately needed at the football club. I do believe we are going to make one signing in this January transfer window, and I think the only player we're going to sign is Bruno Fernandes. But there obviously has been a lot of players on our agenda. So I am just going to be giving you a bit more additional information regarding Bruno Fernandes. Also going to be giving you some more news regarding Edison Cavani. Also going to give you the latest news regarding Mauricio Pochettino, because I have been keeping up to date of what's been going on with Mauricio Pochettino quite recently. So I think we're expected to sign Bruno Fernandes by the end of the week. Bruno Fernandes did play yesterday in Sporting Lisbon's game against Braga. Sporting Lisbon had lost by 2-1. Bruno Fernandes had got an assist in the game. Bruno Fernandes, by the way, had stormed down the tunnel, and I think he also shoved a camera out of his way. So that's just indicating now that he does want to leave Sporting Lisbon, and he wants to come to Manchester United. So I do believe that game yesterday is Bruno Fernandes' last game as a Sporting Lisbon player. But there was reports anyway emerging out before the game saying that we've had breakthrough in negotiations with Sporting Lisbon. Man United and Sporting Lisbon are set to come to an agreement on a fee. I think it's going to cost us in the region of around £55 million. Man United are going to pay around £47 million up front, and the rest of it is in add-ons and that. But I did say, didn't I, like I mentioned yesterday, the stumbling block of Bruno Fernandes' move to Man United has actually, been the fee, because Man United and Sporting Lisbon have struggled to come to an agreement on a fee. Because obviously, at the first, we was not determined to pay more than like 42 or 43 million pounds up front. Obviously, it says we'd put an initial first offer in of around 43 million, plus with add-ons included, and it said these add-ons would be only activated if like we won the Champions League or the Premier League, or Bruno Fernandes won the Ballon d'Or. But obviously, it's unlikely to happen. So from a Sporting Lisbon perspective, they were unhappy with the structure of the offer, basically. A lot of reports from the Portuguese press confirmed last week that Bruno Fernandes has already agreed personal terms with the football club, and is set to earn £120,000 a week, but no fee has yet come to an agreement. So once both of the clubs come to agreement on a fee, I think Bruno Fernandes to Manchester United will be made official. But obviously, I've known there's been credibility in this, because, like I said, when it's stemming from the BBC and when it's stemming from Sky Sports, which are two liable sources, there's definitely something in it. Obviously, it reported out over the course of last weekend, saying that Sporting Lisbon wanted around €80 million, which equates to around £68 million in pounds sterling. Obviously, it says Man United were determined to meet that. And obviously, 55 million is still short of, Sporting Lisbon's valuation. Obviously, there was reports the other week saying that, Sporting Lisbon wanted Marcus Rojo as part of the deal. There was also talk saying that Andres Pereira could go as part of the deal. But I think this is going to be a straight cash deal. But I just believe, whatever Sporting Lisbon are demanding for the player, I think Man United, should be just determined to pay it. Because obviously, we're known for overpaying for players anywhere. Prime example, £80 million for Harry Maguire, £50 million for Fred, £89 million for Paul Pogba, £40 million for Nemanja Matic, so we might as well just pay it. And Bruno Fernandes, like I said, anyway, will dramatically improve Manchester United. He's obviously not enough. Obviously, more signings are needed at the club than just Bruno Fernandes. Like I said on my other videos, I think we need at least 5 to 6 more signings if we are to be back to being a competitive elite level football club. And if we are, to be a future title contenders, we need at least 5 to 6 more signings. Solskjaer did recommend 3 signings in last summer, and we spent nearly £150 million on Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and on Harry Maguire, and they've all enjoyed fantastic starts to their Man United careers. So obviously we get Bruno Fernandes on the board. He will be our first signing this year and our fourth signing overall under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. Allegedly, reports have been coming out saying that the delay of the transfer has been due to George Mendes. But actually, no, George Mendes has been working on Bruno Fernandes' transfer to Manchester United, because don't forget, he was in the director's box at Old Trafford last week. He was also in London, the other week as well, was George Mendes. So he's been working on this deal. But the Sporting Lisbon boss also come out recently, and he gave his overarching view on it, and he said that Bruno Fernandes is not close to joining Manchester United. Basically, this is what it said. But like I said, Sky Sports did confirm last week before it says the talks are stalled between the clubs. This was stemming from James Cooper. He tends to be close to Manchester United, and he said Man United were closer to coming to an agreement on a fee for Bruno Fernandes. But he's a very, very good player. And, my only element of concern about Bruno Fernandes at this moment is that he hasn't played in the Premier League. That's my only element of concern. So he isn't Premier League proven. But like I said on my video yesterday, I think Bruno Fernandes has got the minerals to succeed in the Premier League. So I think if he comes to the Premier League, he can replicate, what he's done in his couple of years in Portugal with Sporting Lisbon. Don't forget he got his contract term extended last year. I do presume that's reflected on his good run of performances. He spent the entirety of his career in Italy when he was younger, and Bruno Fernandes is only at the age of 25. He is predominantly an attacking midfielder. Man United are in search for an attacking midfielder. We're also in search for a holding midfielder, because the only midfielders we can rely on at the moment is the likes of Fred. I would be determined to keep Fred at Manchester United. I would, give him more time in the club. Matic is a liability, too slow. Pereira, got element of concerns about him. So they're only really the midfielders we can rely on at the moment, because obviously we've got Pogba and McTominay injured, and I think they're out until February. And reflects on their injuries, we do look very exposed in that midfield. But like I mentioned on my video yesterday, I don't think we've had a world-class midfielder since we had the likes of Paul Scholes and Michael Carrick, who were a fantastic partnership in our midfield when, of course, there were players. We haven't had one, and I know Paul Pogba was world-class. He's a world-class midfielder, is Paul Pogba, when he's playing to his potential best, but I thought he was world-class at Juventus, because he enjoyed 4 good years there with Juventus, did Pogba. But I think, the vast majority of his performances at Man United have been totally comparison. So that midfield is definitely one of the priority areas where Man United need to strengthen up and that. So that's just the latest news regarding Bruno Fernandes. So I think by Friday, Man United should have completed the signing of Bruno Fernandes. I've just become infuriated that, we haven't already got the deal over the line for him. We should have got him last week. That game against Benfica last week should have been his farewell appearance. There was reports emerging out saying that we wanted to sign Bruno Fernandes before he played against Benfica last Friday. Realistically, we should have got him at the beginning of the month, but we didn't. But it's taken us time to negotiate this deal with Sporting Lisbon, and it just replicates last summer basically, because last summer we was relentlessly linked to Bruno Fernandes. We was relentlessly linked to him last season, but we didn't get a deal over the line. Obviously, Sporting Lisbon wanted 70 million for him last season. We only valued him at 50 million. City went in for him. Also, Liverpool went in for him, and Tottenham, of course, went in for him. But Bruno Fernandes' preference is definitely a move to Man United. I think his preference was a move to Tottenham last summer. So his preference last summer was totally a comparison in that. So that's the latest news regarding Bruno Fernandes. The latest news now regarding Edinson Cavani. Reportedly, Man United have turned down the opportunity to sign Edinson Cavani after reportedly we've been offered him. Edinson Cavani is a striker now. Obviously, we do need a striker, reflecting on the injury to Marcus Rashford. Solskjaer has revealed that Marcus Rashford is going to be out for at least a couple of months. He did say he's going to be out for at least 6 weeks after Rashford had sustained a double fracture in his back. So this injury is quite severe. Solskjaer did reveal that Marcus Rashford's injury he's got now is totally comparison to the one that he had earlier on in the season. Obviously now it is more severe in that. So Rashford could be out for the rest of the season, believe it or not. And like I said, it is disappointing because Rashford has been one of our best players this season. He's been in scintillating form. A lot of aspects of his game have improved. He's scored goals. He's on 19 goals this season in all competitions. His finishing assets has improved. He's been getting them runs in behind fantastically well as Rashford. And it's disappointing, to see Marcus Rashford out. And, some people say that reflects on Rashford's injury, that, some people say that some of the blame stems from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because a lot of people are saying, that he shouldn't have played against Wolves, he shouldn't have come off the bench against Wolves. And Ian Wright has actually, said that Solskjaer needs to take the blame for putting himself before Marcus Rashford. I think Solskjaer has reacted to Ian Wright's comments. So now, obviously, reflects on the injury to Rashford. Solskjaer did say that we could delve into this transfer market for short-term deals. So he says reportedly he's not interested in any long-term deals. But I wouldn't want Edinson Cavani at Manchester United anywhere. I wouldn't want Edinson Cavani at Man United. I've got element of concerns about him. And the main factor reason why I've got element of concerns about Edinson Cavani, because he's 32 years of age, so his age does concern me. He's never played in the Premier League, so he isn't Premier League proven. Yeah, so we're not. I said, the other day when he updated you, we're not going to get Edinson Cavani. Obviously, it's very imminent that he's going to be leaving PSG. Edinson Cavani is going to be leaving, because the PSG director confirmed a couple of days ago that, Edinson Cavani has put a transfer request in. And there is quite a few teams in for him. Tottenham have been in for him. Chelsea are also in for him, but I think Chelsea have been put off by his wage demands. I think Frank Lampard is an admirer of the player. And I think also Atletico Madrid have been in for him. I think Atletico Madrid are emerged as the favourites to sign Edinson Cavani, basically. And he's a cheap solution, no. He probably only cost around 15 or is it £20 million. This is what PSG do want for him. But I've got to admire him because I think he's enjoyed a fantastic career, especially with PSG. He has been a long-serving player for PSG. This is now his current 7th season with PSG. He has enjoyed 6 years with PSG, and taking into account he is their record goal scorer, 198 goals in 293 games in all competitions. And by the way, his current contract does expire at the end of this season, and PSG did pay around £55 million for him from Napoli back in 2013. Don't forget, and I think before that wasn't he at Parma, Edinson Cavani. But yeah, I wouldn't want him to come to Manchester United. But like I said, he would be a much cheaper solution than the likes of Moussa Dembele. Of course, a cheaper solution than Raul Jimenez. Probably a cheaper solution than Moussa Dembele in that. But yeah, so it would be a cheaper solution. But Man United are not going to get the player. You leave PSG, I think he'll probably go to Atletico Madrid maybe. Don't think he'll go to Chelsea. You just don't know where his next club he's going to be. And whatever team gets him anyway, he's not going to get offered a long-term contract because he's obviously 32. I think he'd want around an 18-month contract with Edinson Cavani if he was to be moved on. So that's the latest news regarding him. So, like I said, this year, we've got to address the deficiencies in the squad. Don't forget, Man United have had a lot of injuries this season. Some players have now come back from injury, which is a positive work there. Some players have come back from injury, which is a positive. Obviously, Eric Bailly is now back from injury because he was out with any injury since pre-season. But he's recently, been playing for the under-23, so he's back now, which is good. But he's very injury-prone. Also, Fossil Mensah's back, which I'm very happy about. He was also playing for the under-23s. I think Solskjaer views Fossil Mensah as a right-back because he played as a right-back for Holland at the age of 19. So he's back now. Is Fossil Mensah. Diego Dalot's just recently come back. I haven't really got a perception on him at the moment because Diego Dalot has sustained quite a few injuries this season for Man United. He's one of our backup options at that right back position. Luke Shaw's just come back from a hamstring problem. He sustained quite a few injuries this season as Luke Shaw. He's sustained quite a few injuries in that. So he is an injury-prone player, is Luke Shaw. But, we have still got some injuries, and some people believe from their own perception this is the main factor reason why we've been inconsistent, is reflected on the injuries we've had. But from my own perception, that is definitely not excusable. Solskjaer, I don't think it's got many element of concerns regarding that full-back position, so it feels as though that we don't really need to strengthen up at that full-back position, because obviously, we know that Young's just left the football club not too long ago. He's the first player to leave Man United in 2020. But, obviously, we've got the likes of Wan-Bissaka. That's our first choice right back. He's been a great addition to the squad so far, and I think he can be our right back for the next decade. Some people say they've got an element of concern about him. He's not good in terms of attacking intent, but defensively good. Distribution very, very good. Very, very good. But I think he's been a fantastic signing for us. Obviously Diego Dalot we've got Brandon Williams, who is now our first choice left back. He's a much better solution than Luke Shaw. So I don't really think Man United need a full back, to be quite honest with you. You've got some people coming out and saying that, maybe we need a centre half. We need someone alongside Harry Maguire. But I think, Lindelof plays well alongside Harry Maguire. So I don't think we really need a centre half, because I think, since we signed Harry Maguire last summer from Leicester, I think he's been a revelation for the club. So he's replicating, what he did do during his time with Leicester. And I know we overpaid for him, like I mentioned. Obviously, Harry Maguire, by the way, now is permanent captain. Obviously, the game against Burnley tonight is going to be his second game as captain for Manchester United. But I've got to say, he has addressed our defensive deficiencies, but we still seem to be scoring goals. So don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of aspects of our game that do need to improve, definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. But I think, we need to see a variety of changes at the football club. We need to see a variety of changes. I think we need to get rid of Ed Woodward. Obviously, a lot of United fans are protesting Ed Woodward. They're not only protesting Ed Woodward, they've also been protesting the Glazers. Like I said to you yesterday, for my reaction to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference building up to the Man United Burnley game, he reacted to Gary Neville's comments about Ed Woodward, because Gary Neville came out yesterday, who's a respectable pundit. I know obviously he's a former Man United player. He actually says that Ed Woodward should leave the football club. He criticised Ed Woodward, reflecting on our poor recruitment in the last 4 or 5 years, and he believes that we need to get him out of the club. I think a lot of United fans, including me, would agree. But Solskjaer reacted to that, and Solskjaer basically said now is not the right time to discuss the club's recruitment policy, because our recruitment policy has been poor for several years, definitely. But we need to get him out. I think there's definitely more players that need to leave Manchester United. I think we need to get rid of around 6 or 7 players this year, despite the fact that a lot of players have left since Solskjaer's arrival. I think we need to get rid of Phil Jones. We need to get rid of Marcus Rojo. We need to get rid of Nemanja Matic. I think we need to get rid of Andres Pereira. We need to get rid of Jesse Lingard, because I've actually become infuriated with Jesse Lingard. And Jesse Lingard's been here for several years. And like I said, reflecting on his status at the football club, he should be putting much more better performances out. Definitely some people say they get rid of Luke Shaw, get rid of Chong. Chong's not quite at that level as yet. But these still players at Manchester United, without a shadow of a doubt, I would still be determined to keep, definitely. I think, it was a shame last summer as well that we didn't get a director of footballing, because I did say that's one of the structural changes that we need at the football club, definitely. And I think we need a change of management, because like I've said on a lot of my videos, we need to get rid of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because he isn't the long-term solution for Manchester United. Obviously, if Solskjaer is to be sacked, then Mauricio Pochettino is the favourite to take over. If he is to take over, it won't be until the end of the season. I was reading recent reports, and it did say even if Manchester United don't get the top 4 this season, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is still safe, and Man United have confirmed this. It has been revealed how much it would cost us to sack Solskjaer, and we'd have to pay around £5 million to get rid of him. So that's around £15 million less than what we paid to get rid of Mourinho. Because we paid around 20 million to get rid of Mourinho. I think around 9 million to get rid of Louis van Gaal, and around 5 or 6 million to get rid of David Moyes, basically. Because Solskjaer did sign a 3-year contract with the club when he got the job permanently back in March last year, and he's on around £7.5 million a year, and he's still got around 2.5 years left on his deal, because Solskjaer has now been here for 13 months, so he's been here over a year, and he knows now that he's in his second year of the club. He's got many expectations to exceed, basically. But he's been permanent boss for 10 months as Solskjaer, and analysing the vast majority of that 10 months, he has endured a really difficult time with Manchester United. Totally comparison to the time when he was the interim manager, because when he was the interim manager, he did really, really well. The results were good, the performances were good, he got the best out of these group of players, and he exceeded expectations. But during that 3-month period when he was interim manager, my perceptions were different then regarding Solskjaer, definitely. But, I think the only reason we're sticking with him at this moment in time is because, with him being a club legend. But I think disregarding Solskjaer being a club legend, I think he probably, would have been sacked by now. Man United need to get top 4 this season. That's one of our ambitions, is that top 4, so we can get Champions League football. We are now 6 points behind top 4 because Chelsea drew yesterday with Arsenal 2-2. So we've got to win this game against Burnley tonight. But the only main explanation why we're in this top 4 race anyway is because Chelsea have been obviously in a bad vein of form. This is the only reason we're in that top 4 race. But I did say at the start of this season that our expectations this season will be to finish in that top 4. I think my perception will be the same next season. Our expectations will be that top 4. Because we're not going to mount any kind of title challenge up for several years. We've already gone 7 years without winning the Premier League. The last time we won it was back in 2013 under Ferguson. That was obviously Alex Ferguson's last season. But we're not going to win the league for several years because we're not good enough at the moment. So like I said, I think our aspirations will be that top 4 in the next couple of seasons and that. But, I expected us to enjoy a better season this season than what we saw last season. And, and what we've seen, I expected us to enjoy a better season this season than what we saw last season. And I expected us to be better, than what we was under like Mourinho, Van Gaal and David Moyes. But obviously, that just hasn't materialised. So that's what I'm saying. So the news regarding Mauricio Pochettino is that, I think he's interested in taking over the job at Manchester United. Reportedly has begun negotiations with the football club over replacing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Now, reportedly, Mauricio Pochettino is to be recommended into Manchester United. Reportedly, he wants to take full control of our transfers, basically. And I think he did demand the other week that he doesn't want Ed Woodward as our director of football. So Pochettino is interested in coming in. Don't forget, we have been long admirers of him because we was in for Mauricio Pochettino, after the sacking of Jose Mourinho back in December 2018. And I think that's when Man United should have recommended Mauricio Pochettino in. But the main explanations why our preference was Solskjaer, because Solskjaer was a cheaper solution. Plus, Solskjaer knows the club inside out, and obviously Pochettino's comparison to that, because Pochettino doesn't know the club as well as Solskjaer. And plus, Solskjaer did well on an interim basis, so this is why we decided to keep Ole Gunnar Solskjaer on. We wouldn't obviously if we recommended Pochettino in now, we wouldn't have to pay anything in compensation to recommend him in, because he is currently managerless. Tottenham sacked him last year, but he did say after he was sacked by Tottenham, he wanted an immediate return to management. Don't forget, Pochettino last week was linked with the managerial role at Barcelona, because Barcelona, had sacked Ernesto Valverde. Obviously, there's been speculation about him possibly going to Bayern Munich. He's been relentlessly, linked with the managerial role at Real Madrid. But I think he's indicated out where his next managerial job will be, and it'll either be in England, so he'll remain in England, or it will be in Spain. But I've got to say, I think, Mauricio Pochettino would be the right candidate for Manchester United. I think he would elevate this club forward. and I think he's totally comparison to Solskjaer. Totally comparison to Solskjaer. He's a better manager. He's well Premier League proven. Hasn't won out in terms of silverware, but that's my only element of concern. And I think he'd suit the strappings of the club at Man United. And reflect on what he did in his 5.5 years with Tottenham. This is what makes me think he'll do well at Man United. Because don't forget, he progressed Tottenham to their first ever Champions League final last season. And he won a total of 159 games in 293 games in all competitions for Tottenham. Before he was at Tottenham, he enjoyed a short tenure with Southampton, and I thought he also did well there. And before that, he was at Espanyol. Pochettino has been managing now for just over a decade. So, our board won't sack Solskjaer at the moment because we're determined to back him in this January window. We're also determined to back him in the summer. But due to our inconsistency, not all of the blame stems from Solskjaer. Everyone else needs to take responsibility as well. But the element of concerns I've got about him is that he hasn't won out in terms of silverware, hardly. He hasn't got a plan B. He's been tactically naive for the vast majority of this season. So they're my element of concerns about him. I credit him because he was a great player for the club for 11 years, and I credit him also because he's got a lot of trustworthy in his young players as Solskjaer, because the young players have been given their opportunities and that. But he just isn't the right man to elevate the club forward. And if Solskjaer is to be sacked, he will be the fourth permanent manager to be sacked since the Alex Ferguson era. Because since the Ferguson era, we've already sacked David Moyes after 10 months. We sacked Louis van Gaal after like a year or so. And we sacked Jose Mourinho after he enjoyed a 2.5-year tenure at the football club. But like I said, anyway, it's very imperative that we do get some silverware on the board this season. But we're not in the commanding position that we should be in. Reflects on the money that's being spent into this football club. Also, we've got a total... Our wage structure's balmy. I think like we're the second club, with the highest players in it. Absolutely balmy to be quite honest with you. But so that's the latest day news regarding the transfers and everything else. Man United played tonight against Burnley. Want to get back to winning ways. Want to see a total comparison performance to what we saw against Liverpool at the weekend. So let's see what happens. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes, below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribing as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.